What blocks having a vision for your life, and how do you clear the view? That is exactly what we're talking about in today's podcast. If you're new to me, I'm Gina Casbaro, host of the Follow Your Spark podcast, and I'm so glad you're here. All right, my friends. So, if you have ever felt like you wished you could be clearer about the direction that your life is heading, or you feel confused about where you're going or what you want to create in life, and it's felt hard or felt like a struggle to really answer these questions about what you desire, is your life headed in the direction that you want to go? This conversation is for you. We're going to talk all about what is vision, what can block vision and make it harder for us to see clearly what we desire and what we want to create, and how you can help those clouds part so that you can feel like you have a clear view, a clear vision of where you would like to head in your life, so that it makes all of your choices and decisions today feel that much easier, feel that much more empowered, intentional, and aligned. All right, you ready? Let's dive in. Okay, so what is vision? When I think about vision, I think about standing on a mountaintop and having this clear view, blue sky vision of your surroundings, and to be able to see the direction that you want to head versus when the clouds are really heavy, when you're surrounded by fog, when the skies are so clouded that you can't see anything in front of you. It would make it really hard to move in any direction. So it would probably result in standing still and just trying to feel your way and not fall because you can't see anything around you. So when I think about vision, I think about having this North Star that we can aim towards. And the North Star is something visible that we can see, like we can actually see the North Star in the sky. To have something that you can see in imaginary sensory detail in your mind's eye, in your heart, so that you can see the direction you're aiming towards. And then I think about the compass like your inner spark. The compass is following something that it can't see, yet it always knows and can orient towards that North Star. There's something in it that can tune into those unseen forces and help direct you towards that aim, towards that vision. So I think about it, like I said, like the spark, that internal spark inside of us that doesn't need to see, it doesn't need any of that. It can feel the way and point and orient you in the direction that's calling to you. So that's what I think about vision. And I think having a vision that is connected to what you truly desire in life, what really matters to you, helps you create a life that's authentic and unique and meaningful to you. Because if we don't ask ourselves these questions of what actually matters to me, what's important, what direction do I want to go in, we're often following someone else's North Star, whether it's society, whether it's our best friend, whether it's our mom, whatever the messages that we've been receiving our whole life about what it means to be successful, what it means to have a fulfilling life, what it means to be happy. So if we don't check in with our internal compass, our internal North Star, we end up following someone else's. So that's why I believe this conversation is so important, and making time to connect with your vision for your life is so important. So, how do you do that? And what gets in the way of vision? I'm going to break down 10 things that I have found cloud vision and what can help you clear that view, and also share some insight into my own creative process when I am bringing visions to life, because this can apply to a short-term vision and this can apply to a long-term vision, everything that I'm going to talk about. Okay, so number one, the first thing that can block vision is distraction and the busyness of everyday life. Oftentimes, our calendars are so full, we're so preoccupied with all of our responsibilities, all the things that we need to do if we're in survival mode or just trying to keep up with the pace of life, that it can feel like there's no time to just sit down on a Sunday afternoon or a Tuesday afternoon and give myself space to dream. I couldn't possibly. I have so many things to do because most of us are so taught to always be in this space of production, achievement, busyness, doing, that it can be challenging to press pause and actually give yourself space to dream. So that's the first thing of actually giving yourself space and permission to dream. The vision that I want to talk about today as I'm like going through my creative process, I am planning a new big dance. So if you don't know this about me, I host and facilitate ecstatic dances in Baltimore, and I have one coming up in September called Yin Yang. And it is all about exploring the masculine and feminine aspects of ourselves and how to build trust between those two sides of us, because all of us have the masculine and feminine energies inside of us. So how do we have them work in harmony together? That's what the essence of this dance is about. And doing that through exploring movement, through exploring this within yourself, exploring that with partners. So this is coming up on September 19th, and I need to plan for it, right? So there's been many times the past couple weeks where I've felt like I'm so busy, there's a million other things going on, and I put time in my calendar on certain days to vision, to open up this space to receive ideas. And yesterday was one of those days, and I was tired and I didn't sleep well the night before, and there was other things I wanted to do. I could just check out and watch Netflix, and yet I was like, no. I said I was going to do this. I put time on my calendar for it. Even if I'm at 50% energy, whatever it is, I am going to protect this space and time that I made for myself. And I sat down and I created the container. I turned on my essential oils. I lit candles. I built a new altar to yin yang, the essence and creative spirit of yin yang. And I sat there and I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to dance with this vision. So that is something, like I said, that being able to prioritize the time for visioning, the space for visioning, I think is so important. And being able to honor that time when you have created the space or when you've chosen, when you're going to do that. And of course, you can be visioning and dreaming in the shower and in other moments as well. And sometimes it can be incredibly useful to set aside dedicated time and space to open up to these ideas. The next thing I want to share that can block vision is relying solely on the masculine and not tuning into the feminine energies. So when I think about masculine and feminine energies, masculine energy for me is structure, logic, stability. It's the frame that's holding the container. It's action oriented, all of that. And when I think about the feminine, I think about the unknown. I think about flow. I think about creativity and intuition. And it's the yin side of the yin yang. It's the darkness. It's the void. So when it comes to vision, I think sometimes people can try to figure everything out with their logical mind. So if I asked you the question, what do you desire for your life? Where do you see your life heading? Where would you love your life to head? It's like we go straight to the brain and ask the brain, where would I like my life to head? And then I know for me, and I've experienced this with other people, sometimes there's this anxiety of like, I don't know. And it might be this pressure. There can be all kinds of emotions underneath this question. And if we just try to answer it from the logical mind, the masculine mind, sometimes that can be stressful. Sometimes that can be limiting. So being able to remember that we have both of these superpowers. The masculine is a superpower and the feminine is a superpower. So to be able to make space for intuition to guide us. So that's exactly what I did yesterday when I was planning for yin yang and opening up to this vision is I created the container for the feminine to come dance with me. So the masculine was the structure of, okay, at 6 p.m. on Sunday, I am going to vision for yin yang. It's on my calendar. I've created the time and space for it. So But at first I went to kind of like look at things on my computer and I was like, no, no, no. Before I do anything else, I need to create my space. I need to invite in this feminine energy to come dance with me. So for me, that looked like choosing intuitively essential oils that would serve me in that moment. It looked like creating a new altar dedicated to the spirit of yin yang. I think about visions and ideas like creative spirits. So I created an altar dedicated to the spirit of yin yang and asked it to come dance with me, come play with me, come create with me, and really invited that energy in. And then I went to different journaling practices and asking myself different questions about the essence of this event and what it meant, and allowed myself to go down all different kinds of rabbit holes and tangents as I opened up to this vision. So this wasn't about trying to figure everything out super logically and going straight to the plan. Okay, what's the agenda for yin yang? What are all the exercises we're going to do? What time? What are all the more masculine structure kind of pieces? Before I could go there, I wanted to open up to that intuitive flow. So again, with vision, whatever you're thinking about, whether you have a vision to create something in the short term, or whether you are tuning into what's my vision for the future, before trying to figure out any kind of plan or feeling like you need to know before you can even give yourself space to dream, I really invite you to allow your imagination to guide you. Allow your intuition to guide you and ask yourself, give yourself space to ask yourself these questions of, what do I desire? Why is this important to me? Where would I love my life to head? And don't answer this straight from that logical brain right away. Give yourself space to dream and explore. And if you don't know how to do this or struggle with this, I've got an event coming up called Activate Your Vision. I will talk more about that later, so stay tuned. Don't worry, I got you. Okay, number 3. The third thing that can block vision is putting pressure on yourself, especially pressure to be able to see the whole picture right now. So again, I think sometimes when I ask people about vision, there's this kind of panic that can come up when they feel like they need to have it all figured out. And if they lack that crystal clear clarity that they think they need of like, tell me exactly where I'm going 10 years from now, that somehow means you don't have any vision. That's not true. So what I would really invite in this exploration of visioning is to let go of feeling like you need to have all of the information in order to have vision. You need to know everything about everything 10 years from now and beyond in order to have vision. That is not true. So my invitation and what I think can help clear this like heaviness and pressurized energy is to give yourself permission to explore and trust that one spark, one breadcrumb leads to another. And if today all you know is that you're feeling called to, I don't know, explore astrology more. You don't have to know today that you like want to build an astrology business and do all these things. No, you don't need to know that. If right now the spark is, I want to explore this topic more. I want to explore this relationship more. I feel called to go to this event. I don't know why. That's enough. You can start there. You don't need to have everything all mapped out right away. Okay, the next thing that blocks vision is not following those sparks. So if you're thinking that you need more information in order to start moving, or if you feel like the sparks you're getting don't make sense and your logical mind can't understand, why would you go to that event? Why are you feeling called to study this thing? Why do you really want to go to that retreat? If it can't see the whole vision, it wants to be able to see the whole puzzle put together ahead of time. But in life, we don't get the picture for the whole puzzle ahead of time. Sometimes we just get thrown a bunch of different puzzle pieces. And it's important to be able to start putting those puzzle pieces together one by one and trusting the vision that's unfolding. So if we don't follow the sparks we get, that means we're not receiving more information. We're not getting the next breadcrumb because we didn't use the first one. We didn't take the first step. So, how could we possibly get information about the second step? So, in order to create and clarify a vision, I think it's incredibly important to be willing to follow those breadcrumbs one at a time, even if your logical mind can't understand where it's all going in this moment. The next one is this thought of I don't have enough time. I really see this blocking vision often of I don't have enough time. Again, this goes back to like the busyness and distractions of everyday life versus getting clear with yourself about why is this important? And this is something that I talk about all the time with coaching clients, with people who are exploring working with me, that I believe vision is so important, and specifically knowing your why. Why is having a vision for your life important? Why is following your spark important? For me, I want to live my most authentic, inspired life. I want to be in a state of growth. I want to explore my highest potential in this lifetime. I want to give myself space to do things that light me up and follow my passions because these things enrich my life. So that's my why. So when it comes to making time and space to follow the random sparks that come up, I know my why and it's incredibly valuable. So when I'm trying to make a decision of, is this worth spending time on? Is going to this random event, is going to this random retreat worth spending my time, money, energy, resources on? We have to be able to answer that question in order to prioritize the time for it. So understanding your why and then being able to dedicate the time and space and ask yourself, what is a priority in my life right now? And if following these sparks, if following this vision is important, being able to make the time and space for it. And there's so much I could say about time management and prioritization. And it's actually a huge topic that I explore with my coaching clients because it's something that people often think time management is only about managing your actual schedule and figuring out what goes where. And so much of time management, I believe, is our thoughts about time, our how we're feeling about the things on our schedule, if we believe we're capable or not. If you're telling yourself, I don't have enough time, I can't handle everything on my to-do list, I'm so overwhelmed, that's going to create the sensation of being overwhelmed and having no time versus being able to believe I am capable of creating space for all the things that are important to me in life. And like I said, we could go so deep into this. And this is something that I've seen, like I said, block vision and being able to work with your thoughts, your emotions about time. And for me, it also stems down to your why and knowing why following these sparks is important. The next one is about this feeling that you need more information. So these are all related. And when it comes to creating a vision, having a vision, blocking a vision, if you're telling yourself you need more information in order to move forward, that is going to block vision. So to bring it back to yin yang, right? I've had this vision, this seed of a vision for a while now. I led yin yang last year, a different event similar to this, and a very solo internal experience and exploration of the masculine and feminine inside of ourselves individually. And now this next event is about exploring it individually as well as in relationship with other people. So for me, the whole vision is not together yet. And there have definitely been moments thinking, is it going to come together? I don't know how this is all going to work out. I don't know what are the exercises I'm going to do yet. And again, it's just about noticing where that masculine element wants to take over. And for me, the masculine often comes from a place of wanting to control, wanting to predict, wanting to plan, wanting to feel safe in what's known and familiar, versus the feminine side that's inviting me to go along on this journey and to trust the unfolding of this. So if you feel like you need more information in order to move forward, again, it's about inviting that feminine, intuitive energy in and remembering that more information will come as you go. The next block is experiencing challenges on the journey and making that mean this vision is not for you. So, again, whether you're working on a short term vision, a short term project, or you're imagining a longer term dream of building a business or learning a language or becoming an expert in something new, whatever it is, I've heard this from so many clients of if challenges come up, they make it mean it's not for them because there's this thought of, oh, if we're in our like manifestation energy, everything should just be easy. Everything should just be in flow. And what I tell them and what I tell myself is that so often we need to become a different person. We need to grow in order to be able to bring that dream to life. So when we're experiencing challenges along the way, it's the universe giving us opportunities to grow. It's causing those moments of tension that can elevate us if we choose to work with that challenge, work with that obstacle, and learn from it. That's what helps us become our next level version, the person capable of creating that dream. So instead of like shaking your fist at the universe saying like, why is this happening to me? The universe is like, I'm answering your prayer. I'm helping you. I'm doing what you asked for. I'm helping you become the person who is capable of bringing this vision to life. And oftentimes that means letting go of old versions of you, letting go of old habits, old patterns, old beliefs, old ways of being. It's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Things have to die in order to be reborn. It's the natural cycle of life. So, really being able to change your relationship with challenge and change your relationship with obstacles and really asking yourself, what can I learn from this? How could this actually be a gift in my journey that can help me on my path, and seeing if you can reframe it and see things from a different perspective. The next aspect is thinking that you are nothing special. And what I mean by this is sometimes when we have a big vision, I've heard this again from many people of, oh, but say you want to be a healer, you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to create a business where you're supporting other people and helping people on their healing journey. You could think, oh, but there's a million healers in the world. The world doesn't need another healer. The world doesn't need another painter. The world doesn't need another whatever it is, fill in the blank. So having this illusion that you are nothing special. And that again can create this heaviness. It's like the clouds rolling in that make it hard to want to move forward in that direction. Versus remembering that you are the most special thing in the universe. And so is everyone and everything else, because we are all unique. We are all unduplicatable, if that's a word. We all come with an incredibly unique set of skills, experiences, gifts, challenges, lessons. There is literally not another thing, another being on this planet like you. And whatever dream that you have, you are the only one who could bring it to life in the way that you would. And like I said, this has come up for me in many instances. For yin yang, there's been a lot of exercises over the past couple years that I've explored about masculine and feminine in these dynamics. So as I've been opening up to this vision of yin yang, I really didn't want to just be copying other experiences or other things people have led, and to really remember that I have a unique perspective, and to be able to open up to this vision and invite in the spirit of yin yang, invite in the spirit of my intuition to guide me into what wants to be created, what wants to be birthed through me, and to believe that no one else could create yin yang like I will. And really intending to be this receptacle, this, container that can receive this vision. That's what I think about every time I'm opening up to vision, that I'm in this co-creative dance with spirit, with the universe, with myself, with my heart, with my intuition. And I'm in this dance of bringing this vision to life. So, remembering no one can do it like you, whatever your vision is. The next thing that can block vision is forgetting that you're in a constant process of growth. So, what I mean by this is if you're sitting here today and you want to imagine, okay, 10 years from now, what would I love to be experiencing? What would I love to create in my life? If you go straight to your logical mind or your primitive brain, you might be thinking of what you're capable of now and making that mean what you're going to be capable of 10 years from now versus remembering you are in a constant state of growth. What you're capable of a year from now is going to be much different than what you're capable of today. The same goes for 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So when we're thinking about vision, we're oftentimes assessing it against what we think is probable, what we think is capable based off of the past versus believing it's possible to create new results in the future and that we are in a constant state of growth and becoming. Literally every second, we are regenerating ourselves. We are regenerating the cells in our body. We're always learning and growing. So noticing when the brain wants to say, you're not capable, or is finding evidence from the past about what it believes is possible, remembering that the past is not a dictation of what you're capable of in the future, that you're always going to be in this state of becoming, of growth, of evolution. I feel like I heard something recently, I don't know, on Instagram somewhere about if you want to grow, like put yourself in circumstances where you have to. It's like putting yourself in a circumstance that is going to stretch your capacity so that you have the opportunity to rise to the occasion. So for me, August feels like a very growth oriented, expansive kind of month. I'm hosting 4 events. I am vending at this giant holistic expo in York, PA, coming up the weekend of the 8th and the 9th. So I have a lot of things going on top of all of the things that I'm doing in my personal life and Sparkle Space and everything else. So I've noticed moments where I've felt overwhelmed versus tapping into that future version of me who is capable of doing all of this and beyond, that it's no problem, and just asking myself, how would they navigate this time? How would they balance all of these things? What would they be thinking about themselves? How would they be feeling? What would they be believing? What actions would they be taking differently? How would they be resting? And really tune into that future version of me who is capable of so much more than I can imagine. I tell myself this all the time, like, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what I am capable of. I have so much reserves of mental, physical, emotional, spiritual capacity that I have just begun to scratch the surface of. It goes so deep and so vast, and we are these wells of creative energy. So all this comes back to remembering that you are so much more capable than you can imagine in this moment, and that the future is vast and what you're capable of is vast, and being willing to take this process one step at a time. So like I said, for me and my yin yang visioning yesterday, all kinds of ideas started coming and flowing through. And I still don't have the main thesis written up. I don't have the whole agenda written up. I don't have the whole exercises written up yet. And I'm willing to go on this journey. And I trust both the logical side of me and the feminine side of me to help co-create and bring this vision to life. So if you are listening to this, and you want to create the time and space in your life to explore vision, explore the direction that you would love to head so that you feel like you have a North Star that's bright and clear and your compass is tuned in and tapped into that direction to help guide you in this moment, I'm hosting an event on August 13th called Activate Your Vision. We're going to explore how to do this from both the masculine and feminine sides of us. We're going to explore how to feel into the version of you who is capable of bringing incredible dreams to life that you can't even fathom right now. And we're going to go deeper into these things I started talking about today of what can block vision. time, your beliefs, other challenges or roadblocks or obstacles you might be facing. We're going to talk about what's uniquely coming up for you that makes this hard and what can really support you on a deeper level to get past these challenges and roadblocks. It's too much to include all of this in a half an hour, 45-minute podcast. So we're going to go deeper into all of that in this experience. So join us if it's calling to you. It's on August 13th. It's virtual. If you can't come live, the replay will be available. Just sign up and you'll get access to that. And you can get all the information at ginakesbauer.com/vision. So if your heart is saying yes, if you feel like it's time to ask yourself these questions of what matters to you so that you can feel confident and inspired and aligned with the direction your life is heading, come join us. All right, my friend, I cannot wait to hear the vision that you're ready to activate in your life. And I'm sending you so much love. Until next time, bye.